welcome to a new Team CGC 9.8 video. So today I wanted to recommend a CGC 9.8 comic book that we don't mention very often here on the channel. But I think right now, it's a really good time to try and pick up this big key issue for a fair price. So we'll get into all the details about the issue, but really quick, I wanted to invite everyone to join the team and subscribe to Team CGC 9.8. Yeah, I would love to have you on our comic book collecting and comic book investing team. And hit the bell for all the latest notifications. Add me on Instagram and Twitter too. I'll have all the links in the description below for that. But yeah, mentioning for this big key issue that the timing is just right now. And I think for a lot of key issues right now, they're just so hot that it seems like, you know, if you want a really big first appearance, you have to essentially overpay for them right now in the CGC 9.8. But this one's sort of sticking a little bit closer to its more historical price. So, yeah, the comic book that I recommend to buy right now, big investment grade key that you can buy right now, is a Saga of the Swamp Thing, number 37. This is the first full appearance of John Constantine with that classic yellow cover, just so memorable, that cover. I really sticks out to me over time, certainly, this cover. Let's look on the census really quick. We'll check out a price, and I did boil it down to like 4 reasons why I think it's just a really great buy right now, this book. So there's 272 CGC 9.8s in the blue label. So one of 272 collector item for such a big popular character like first full appearance of John Constantine, I think is pretty great. Yeah, you'd think there'd be more of them, to be honest, but kind of a 1 of 272 is pretty great. The 9.8 ratio is 13.9%. So of all graded copies, 13.9% of them are 9.8s. And that's a pretty great investment grade ratio for kind of, you know, this type of mid-80s type of book. There's a lot of other great investment grade books that have about this ratio. It's not like class leading or anything, but 13.9% is not too bad for a sort of mid-80s book like this. And yeah, when we talk about price for Saga the Swamp Thing, might seem a little bit expensive at first, but Go Collect has the fair market value at $750. I had looked on eBay and I hadn't seen any completed listings. Yeah, no completed listings here in the past few months for this one. But, you know, just in the last 2 to 3 years of, you know, me buying CGC 9.8s and knowing the prices, this one usually was about $600. Like, sometimes you'd get it under 600, sometimes it would be like, you know, 630 something in an auction kind of thing. So I don't think this is heated up that much. And, you know, at $750 on Go Collect, that might be sort of the higher end of fair market value is my suspicion. I think if you're patient on this and you wait for an auction, you can get it under $700. And in this hot environment, I think under $700 for a first full appearance of John Constantine, a 1 of 272 collector item with that awesome, memorable yellow cover, I think that's totally worth it. And, you know, certainly in a world where Ultimate Follow 4 is like $1,000, I think it's even more worth it. So let's get into the 4 reasons here and kind of drill down on why I think Saga the Swamp Thing number 37 is such a great key issue. And it's one I've certainly overlooked because I do not have it in the 9.8, but definitely one that I've considered in the past, and you just don't see them pop up too often in auctions. But let's get into the reasons here. The first reason is I think John Constantine, he really has his like his own style. Like, he's pretty special in a cool way. And, you know, I think, you know, he's certainly not like your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Like, he's not that type of hero. So he's really special in that way, where he's just a bit of a different type of hero, even like an anti-hero, you could call him. Like, a funny thing about him, like, he's apparently one of the most powerful sorcerers, but he doesn't like to use his magic very often. Like, he's really just like a chain-smoking kind of cynical type of person that, you know, you wouldn't really notice that he's sort of using his magic. So I think he really stands out in that way as being definitely, I think, one of the sort of original anti-heroes, I would say. Yeah, and another thing, too, is he's bisexual. So I thought I didn't know that, and I just thought that was a cool tidbit, I guess, but definitely shows that he's just got his own thing going on. He kind of, you know, walks to his own tune, and if you want something different, rather than, you know, just your typical first appearances of, like, heroes and villains, I think John Constantine really kind of fits into that niche, because he's definitely got his own thing going on. So that's the first reason. The second reason is I think the timing is really good right now. So mentioned a lot of other books that are really heating up based on a lot of rumors and things like that. And there's just countless CGC 9.8s right now that I think are probably overpriced, over this price, which is around $700, I guess we'll call it. So I think this book around $700 with countless other CGC 9.8s going above $700 that I would probably say aren't as cool of or iconic of a first appearance as first full John Constantine. So yeah, I think the timing is good right now. There's no real rumors as well. Like there's no, oh, there's going to be like a new John Constantine movie coming out in a year or something like that. Like I haven't heard anything like that. So usually in those environments, you're going to get a fair price. And that's, I always recommend to just buy really cool, awesome things when there's no promotion going on. And this is a good example of that. And yeah, again, that Ultimate Fallout 4, I think one sold last night for like $1,025 or something like that. So yeah, this book might seem expensive at about $700, but when you look at some of these hot books going for about $1,000, I think the value of this book kind of shines through. So the third reason is it looks solid on the census. Yeah, definitely solid on the census. A 1 of 272 collector item. 13.3%, 9.8 ratio isn't class leading, but if it was class leading, this book would probably be like almost $2,000, like if it was neck and neck with Amazing Spider-Man 300 or something like that. But there's a lot of investment grade books right around this 9.8 ratio. So a solid investment grade 9.8 ratio, and yeah, 1 of 272 for first full appearance of John Constantine, I think is a great 9.8 to have. So it looks solid on the census. And the fourth reason I think is kind of simple but pretty important. I think this has a really classic, memorable cover. And when you look at books that you can buy and sort of put away for a really long time and be pretty comfortable that they're going to increase in value, I think having that really classic cover helps with that. So you have your Amazing Spider-Man 300s, your Hulk 181s, just a lot of these classic books that have done really well all have great covers. And this one's got potential. I think it's a memorable cover. It's, a simple cover, but still iconic. Yeah, the cover artist was Stephen Bissett on this one. And yeah, I don't think I've heard of any of his other artwork, but I think he completely nailed it on this one. So a classic, memorable cover, I think, is important when you're looking at an investment grade book that's around $700. So those are the four reasons. He's got his own special thing. The timing's good right now. There's no rumors, so you're going to get a good price. It looks solid on the census, and then it's got a classic, memorable cover. Yeah, and so when you put all those together, and when you think about the price and how it hasn't risen that much, I don't think, compared to a lot of other key issues, I think it makes sense right now to get in there. If you like John Constantine, you can get in there right now and buy a Saga the Swamp Thing, number 37. In the CGC 9.8 would be awesome, maybe around $700, but even in the raw or whatever it might be, wherever your budget permits, this is a great book to get out there and buy right now. And, in this hot environment, I would say, again, maybe 6 to 12 months ago, this was about $600, so now it's $700, but that hasn't heated up nearly as much as some other books. And, there's always that potential, too, where John Constantine could, there could be a new movie with him or, incorporating him. And I know there's been movies in the past with him, but, since there's nothing really being whispered about now, that doesn't necessarily mean in 4 or 5 years there can't be a John Constantine movie or whatever it might be. And yeah, right now you're buying when there's not a lot of rumors, so the prices are going to be fair, and then hopefully you hold out. And if something happens with John Constantine, you'll probably really like the prices that you'll see during that time on this book. Because, yeah, in a sort of promotion-filled environment, I could easily see this book over $1,000 in sort of, oh, there could be a new John Constantine movie. Then, a bunch of these pop up on eBay at like $1,200 probably. But right now, no promotion. I just think it's the time to buy this really classic key issue. Yeah, Saga the Swamp Thing, number 37, is one to consider in this environment. Alright, that'll be it for this video. Just kind of wanted to highlight this one issue. It stuck out to me as a book that I don't talk a lot about. But then it really kind of stuck out to me as well as, hey, like right now, it's a really good time to buy this book with a lot of other books being really hot in price right now. So that'll be it for this video, though. If you haven't already, I would invite you to join the team. and subscribe to Team CGC 9.8. Yeah, and hit the bell for all the latest notifications. Add me on Instagram and Twitter too. All the links in the description below for that. But yeah, thanks so much for watching today. Definitely a cool one to consider. I think if you're a huge John Constantine fan, this is the one to get. And right now, you can get it at a fair price, we'll call it. So, yeah, thanks so much for watching today. Really appreciate all the support. And message me on Instagram if you have anything to talk about. Yeah, that's probably the easiest way to get a hold of me. But yeah, thanks so much for watching today, and I'll see you on the next one.